I have to tap because that last statement was so moving. I think I'm crying all the time with everybody's success stories. So let me see. I'm Neadra Gabriel, formerly known as Mickey Tara. It's a long, different story, but never mind. I'm originally from Israel, from Jerusalem, Tel Aviv, and then now I live in California, so I have a lot of interesting exchanges with Omar because I was on the other side of that bombing, and I've lost a brother to the military, and so coming on to FasterEFT, and how did I get here? Because I didn't have a heavily traumatic upbringing, except for some bombing. But I always considered that I was really fucked up, but there was nothing I could latch it onto. I didn't have abusive parents. I didn't have, like, God knows what. But I knew that I was extremely dysfunctional, and more than that, I could look like I really had my act together. And I became personal growth junkie. I studied everything, and I was always looking for that key for me. I got into everything that you could do for personal growth, including, I teach yoga and Pilates. I really, really love that. I'm into eating healthy. So I try to apply all these things that make you get better, and they kind of work, but I definitely had this up-down with my emotions, and I could see that I could only get so far with things I wanted to achieve, and then I was with the wall, and I was right back. And the same would apply, because I've been working for many, many years with clients. It was the same thing for everybody else. So I knew that there is a key somewhere. Where's the Russian girl? The key, yes, I knew there's a key. But to find the key, I've been in Scientology, some good stuff there because they can make some things disappear, but it's abusive. It's an organization, and they manipulate you. So when I finally, after many years, I actually watched FasterEFT for quite a while on YouTube, knew he was doing some really, really good stuff, but I didn't trust the organization because I've been, whether it's yoga, whether it's diet, whether it's God knows what, most everything, once you get inside, you can see this dysfunction happening, and they're preaching one thing, but they're applying, actually what's panning out is something else. So long and short, I eventually signed up for level 1. I'm so grateful I'm signing up now. I think this organization has evolved and upgraded enormously, and I so appreciate all the work going into making this training as efficient as it's happening now. I just think it's brilliant. And a few years ago, you could only do online or live. You couldn't go back and forth. One of the reasons I didn't sign up earlier. So bless the angels and Robert and everybody else. So here I am, and I say, okay, I think I'm going all the way, but I have to check. So I went to Vegas, and before I even had my first day, I already had my session with Robert. I was like, I've got this cash. I had a great job. I got a bunch of cash. I'm like, I'm going to spend it to find out if this man is the real deal or if he's another jerk like everybody else is. What does that say about me? So the fun thing is the day Robert talked about how he runs a session, I'm like, fuck, he did it with me. He didn't promise me. I walk in the door, and he's like, well, you have a lot of stuff going on here. I didn't have to send my piece list with more data. But then he said, but I'm not sure if we can handle this. So he didn't. And I said, that's pretty good. Everybody else promises you stars and sunshine and the moon and $1 million if you do. He's like, I'm not sure if we can, but we're going to do what we can. And then he's looking at all my drama and my stuff, and then he's going, there's one area, no content, not because I don't, I have secrets. He asked me if I have anything I don't want to tell him, but because I used to have this black hole I'd go into of depression. I don't know what it is, don't know where it's from, no content. So he put me, I'm like, I have all this drama, and you're like my parent, maybe something. So he puts me there, and I'm like, what the fuck? And then all this emotions coming out. Like, what the fuck? So anyway, we ran the session. He gave me some, there was like that 2 days ago. I'm like, oh my God, that was my session. He did exactly that. Right at the end, he gave me some really, really good advice about my relationship with my husband. We didn't deal with it, but it was so like it was like a rewrite. It was like an imprint. And I've always remembered it's such a better way to think about my relationship with my husband. So thank you so much, Robert. We didn't deal with my relationship, but there it was. So I went, okay, he's not perfect, sorry, Robert, but he's the real deal. I mean, I just was like, that was so important to me to think that this is an authentic organization. It's not a slick marketing that is very good at pushing buttons and gonna hook you. It really has a huge amount of integrity and authenticity. So I'm very, very grateful for that. Since beginning level 1 and I've done online, I loved it. I'd watch all those videos late at night and go to bed all like, I tapped. I'm like, this is the worst time in the day to look at education, but it's the only time I got, so I don't care. Wake up in the middle of the night, wake up in the morning going, I feel really good, and that wasn't even my stuff. So since level 1 live, honestly, I've had there's requirements, and it's one of my little gems, knowing there is a practitioner that I can call up when I get triggered. And I love my life. I love what I do. I love working with people. But I have had amazing sessions. I had a session, I've been working with Christine McLeod. Oh my God, I can only say I've called her up again. My marriage, I'd get triggered. I would be looking at this poor man I'm married to. Everything about him would trigger me. And I know it's my shit. I do know that much. And I know that I have repeating patterns. I'm not like, what's her name? Erin over there, who's young, who probably doesn't have anything going on about men. But I'm kind of been I'm around myself long enough to go, I am so bored with me. I am so bored with how I see things. Like 2 days or 3 days before I came, I had a session, and I was going, I know they're going to need me to do more sessions. Maybe I should save my shit for after level 2. I was like, no, you're in your shit. Do it now. Don't save your shit. So I just had this amazing session, and the beauty of it is, for me, I'd walk around afterwards, and my husband would be making coffee, and I wouldn't be triggered. I mean, it's like, how can you say thank you? I just see this person making coffee. Nothing else is there. And that things in the day that would be so like, I'd have this static going on, that I'd be maneuvering my own personality around, and it's gone. And knowing that moving ahead, when I'm triggered or messy or just not really the kind of person I want to be, that I can have a session, or I can be sharing with you and we can work back and forth. I mean, what a gift is that? So thank you very much, Robert. Thank you, all the practitioners. Thank you, everybody. See you in October.